Today, I'd like for us to hold some deep stretching poses. So, I'd like for us to get some of the tension out of our bodies through doing some deep stretching breathing. All right, let's begin. So, I'd like for us to find our way into a seated position. And we're going to begin on the floor. So, I want you to come into a seated pose. So, coming into a seated position. All right. And I'm coming into cross leg. Maybe you do not want to come into cross leg. Maybe you want to extend your legs in front. What I'd love for us to do is to come into a seated position so that we can first start on the breath, and then we're going to hold a series of poses for some deep stretching. So let's begin by making the connection with the breath. I want your hands to rest on top of the knees for us to sit tall. Make sure that your shoulders are not hunched up but pressed down. And then with your body centered, all right, let's begin to study the breath. So let's breathe slower and deeper, slowing it down. Give me 2 more belly breaths here. And then 1 more belly breath. Excellent job. So we're going to start it with seated poses, holding them, and we're going to hold each pose for 5 slow belly breaths. So the number today is 5. And we're going to begin into a wide angle seated pose. So let's get the legs as wide as we possibly can get them. And then once we have the legs in wide angle, hands are resting on top of the knees, and we're simply going to slide the hands down the legs as far as you possibly can. And I want us to hold this for 5 breaths. I don't want you to force your body downwards. I want you to allow your body to fall gently into a deeper pose. So let's take these 5 slow belly breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. And I want you to slide the hands up the legs. Now, I'd like for you to take your opposite hand. So this is the left leg. I want you to bring the right hand on top of this leg. And then we're going to slide this hand down. As we're sliding this hand down, the opposite arm reaches out to the side. And I want you to give me these 5 belly breaths. Breathing deeply here. Let the arm away from the leg slide out more. 4. And the more we hold the pose, the more that shoulder comes to the floor. The 2 and 1. Excellent job. Now we're going to slide the hand up, bring the palms together so we can get our body centered. Breathe here. Exhale, release, and then we're going to switch sides. So I want you to bring your hand to this leg and the other arm, look back here, I got it planted. And when I slide the hand down, the hand behind slides out. We're finding our limit here. 5 breaths, breathing deeply. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. Now we're going to slide the hands up and bring the palms together in front of the heart. I want you to sit nice and tall. Give me 2 deep belly breaths here. 1 more belly breath. Excellent job. Now let's bring the legs together side by side into our staff pose. Hands come onto the outside of the hips. Excellent. Let's walk the hands towards your feet into a seated forward fold. Good. So I want you to draw your belly as close to the thighs as you can and try to fold just a little bit deeper. 2 breaths here. 1 more belly breath. Excellent job. Now we're going to walk the hands back. I want you to swing the legs around so we can come onto our hands and knees for tabletop. Good. And then once we are in tabletop, I want you to press away from the mat and bring your palms together in front of your heart. Good. Now that we're standing on our knees, I want you to take your right foot and step it. 1 movement right in front. Step. Good. Inhale here. Exhale. We're going to forward fold to frame this front foot with both hands. And then, good, using your toes, I want you to inch your foot further forward. Good job. And then I want you to roll into the heel as that leg extends. And then I'd like for you to bring both palms together side by side. Very good. Now, we're going to bend in the outside arm. So bend into this elbow, land your left forearm if you can. Now, if you're having problems, you can put a block right here. Put the elbow on top of the block. You could just find your limit. And wherever it is, we're going to hold for 5 breaths. Now, some of you don't have a problem bringing the elbow down. So to add a little bit more, you can try to bring both elbows. But I want you to hold it here. 5 belly breaths, breathing here. 4. And if you're just joining in, we're holding poses this morning to just come on in and join us. 3. 2. 1. Excellent job. So we're going to pick up the elbows. I want you to swing this leg around. You can bring the knees together side by side. And then I'd like for us to rest. Sink the hips towards your feet. Walk the hands forward. Forehead comes to the mat. Child's pose. 2 breaths here. Good job. 1 more belly breath. Excellent. Now, I want you to come back onto the hands and knees for tabletop. Press away from the mat. Bring your palms together, heart center. Excellent. Now, it's the left foot. I want you to step in front with 1 movement. Step. Inhale here. Exhale. Forward fold. We're going to bring the hands down to frame the foot. Use your toes to inch your foot forward. And then let's roll into the heel, extending the leg. Very good. So they call this runner's lunge. We're going to bring the palms together side by side on the inside of this extended leg. And then this outside arm, I want you to bend and bring the forearm to the floor. Now, do your best. Use your block. Modify, make it your own. If this is too easy, you can go ahead and try to bring both elbows to the floor. So wherever you are, let's take those breaths. 5 breaths here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. I'm going to come back onto the palms and whip that knee back in place. I want you to sink the hips towards your heels. Walk the hands forward. Forehead comes to the mat. Child's pose. Resting here in child's pose. We're going to take these 2 breaths to rest. So let's really belly breathe. One more belly breath. Excellent job. So we're going to walk the hands in and keep walking them in for hero's pose. Now, if you need some pillows, let's grab them. You can always put pillows on the backs of your legs so that you have some cushion. But let's say you're trying to get heroes and this is as far as it goes, it's okay. Grab the pillows, stack them. And what we're trying to do in hero's pose is to make sure that the spine is drawn tall so that we're not like this. All right, and we're nice and tall like this. Spine is drawn. Let's take those 5 breaths just sitting in hero's pose. And I wanted you to be really aware of how your legs feel, especially your knees. Let's try it. 5 breaths, heroes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. Inhaling here. And I want us to rock forward to land the hands. Good. Dig the toes into the mat. Pick up your knees and shift your hips back for down dog. And then we're going to tiptoe it in. Walk it in into a standing forward fold. Excellent. Soft bend into the knees. Now we're going to peel the spine up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Excellent. Very good. Until we are standing tall into our Tadasana. So I'd like for us to stand, palms in front of the heart. Get rooted into your feet. Take this time to breathe. Make that connection with your breath because we're going to be holding tree for 5 breaths on each side. So let's belly breathe here. Good. 2 more breaths. And 1 more belly breath. Excellent job. So let's go into it. I want you to take your left foot. Now with tree pose, make sure you can see the options here. Option number 1, we can bring the foot right below the knee. Or you can bring the toes and bring the heel above the ankle. Now, this is fun. There's nothing wrong with this. It's still challenging. It's still a balance because this knee points out. Now, if tree is in your practice and then you want to step into the thigh, that's fine too. But wherever your tree is, let's bring the palms in front of the heart and take those 5 belly breaths, breathing deeply here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job. Now we're going to bring that foot to the floor. I want you to forward fold. Fingers come in front of the toes. Soften in the lower back, in the backs of your legs. Excellent job. Now we're going to circle the arms wide. Palms come together over the head. Good. Hands come in front of the heart. Excellent job. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're here, or here, or you could grab your foot and make sure that it's really planted on the inside of this thigh. Good. Step and palms together. 5 breaths here. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Excellent job. I want you to bring that foot down and shake this out. Good. And I want us to stand again in Tadasana. So this pose really brings to mind one of the saints of the Coptic Church, Tekle Hamenot, and one of the wonderful powerhouses of the Tejawado Church. It was a priest or a monk or whatever you want to call a holy man. But it's said that he stood in this pose in prayer, in meditation for years. For years. So the pose really means something. It kind of brings a lot of that imagery and text with it. Like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in due season. So a lot of powerful things with tree pose. I hope you really enjoyed that, holding it. And now we're going to go ahead and come back onto our mat. So coming back onto our mat, I want us to come into our cross leg pose. Good job. And we're going to keep the legs crossed, but I want you to walk your hands behind your hips and then bend into the elbows and bring your forearms to the floor. So the idea here is that the legs stay crossed. 5 breaths. 4. 3. 2. And 1 more. Excellent job. We're going to pick up the elbows, come on to the palms. Good job. Now, if you have full lotus in your practice, I want you to go ahead and come into full lotus. If not, we're going to stay with the legs crossed. Excellent job. Let's bring the hands behind the hips. Good. Bend into the elbows. Come down onto the forearms. And if you can, we're going to go ahead and bring the shoulders to the floor. We can put the thumbs and the middle fingers together and then hold 5 breaths here. 4. 3. 2. 1. Excellent job. So we're going to come out of this. I want you to bend, walk the elbows in, come on to the palms. Very good. And then we're going to end with our closing. So coming into our cross leg pose. Good. I want you to breathe the palms in front of the heart. 1 more belly breath here. Exhale, release. One more breath. Exhale it out. Very good. On the next inhale, let's go ahead and circle the arms wide, palms come together over the head. Exhale, let them peel away. 2 more. Circle the arms, palms touch. Exhale, let them peel away. Excellent. One more. Circle the arms, palms touch. And hands come in front of heart center. Namaste means the God in me honors the God in you. I'm truly grateful for your practice this morning. Thank you so very much. Namaste. And have a blessed day. Thanks, everybody. See you next Tuesday.